What's the moment you realized your boss wasn't just a bad manager, but a terrible human being? I used to work at this mid-sized logistics company as a dispatcher. Nothing fancy, but the pay was decent and the hours were stable. My manager, Kevin, was one of those guys who called himself a visionary, but couldn't format an Excel sheet to save his life. Constantly talked about mindset and hustle culture, while the rest of us ran the entire back end of the business. One time, he gave us all a printed copy of his personal morning routine and said, "Success starts with hydration and gratitude journals." Meanwhile, we hadn't had working AC in the office since April. Anyway, we had this older janitor named Ron. Quiet guy, early 60s, wore the same blue jacket every day. He'd show up an hour before everyone, mop the floors, take out trash, refill paper towels in the restrooms. Never spoke much except to say good morning. Kevin treated him like he was invisible. Never said thanks, just barked orders like clean the conference room before the client meeting, or what's that smell? Fix it. One day Ron didn't show up. Everyone noticed immediately. The place felt off. We figured he was sick or something, until Kevin burst into the break room, furious, yelling about the overflowing trash cans and how when people don't respect their role, it disrupts the entire company. No one said anything. Ron came back 2 days later with a noticeable limp. Turns out he'd slipped on wet pavement outside his apartment, broke his wrist and twisted his ankle. Still came back to work because he didn't want to leave anyone hanging. Kevin pulled him into his office and we overheard bits of the conversation. Lots of, "We all make sacrifices, Ron, and you're setting a bad precedent by disappearing." That same week, the company held this big quarterly meeting where Kevin announced a new employee recognition program and called up the top 3 performers to receive gift cards and applause. No one from janitorial staff was included, of course. Then Kevin went on a 15-minute rant about people who lack work ethic and how invisible effort doesn't grow the business. Everyone clapped awkwardly. The next morning, Ron wasn't there again. By noon, we found out he'd been fired. Reason? Chronic unreliability. The office got real quiet after that, except for Kevin, who kept saying things like, "Tough calls make strong companies." A week later, corporate announced we were getting a new floor manager, a guy named Marcus. He showed up first thing Monday morning, went around meeting everyone, shaking hands, learning names. Eventually, someone mentioned Ron, half-jokingly said, "Hope you last longer than our last guy." Marcus frowned. "Ron?" he said. "Blue jacket Ron?" "Yep, that's him." Marcus stared for a second, then nodded. Didn't say anything else that day. Next morning, 8:45 a.m., Kevin comes in late as usual, holding his iced coffee and Bluetooth earpiece, struts into his office, slams the door. 5 minutes later, he's escorted out by security. No yelling, no drama, just a packed box in hand, confused and red-faced. Turns out Marcus wasn't a new floor manager. He was the regional VP doing unannounced inspections. Ron was his uncle. He'd been hearing stories for months about poor treatment from one particular manager at our location. Decided to see it for himself. Kevin was terminated for misconduct and hostile work environment. Ron got a formal apology, permanent raise, and a promotion to building supervisor. The entire office chipped in and bought him a custom embroidered blue jacket with his name on it. He wears it every day. Still doesn't say much, just nods and smiles and keeps the floors shining. But every now and then, he walks past Kevin's old office, stops for a second, and laughs, just a little.